There we go. I'm just going to give it until about 8:02 and then we'll get started. I'm trying to find my cat toy. I lost my cat's favorite toy and I don't know where it went. So I'm going to give it about 1 or 2 minutes, make sure everybody gets in that wants to get in, and then we'll get started. All right, y'all, we're going to get started. For anybody who doesn't know me, I am Sam. Still admitting people. I knew this was going to happen. I do this all the time. All right, I think I've got everybody in. I'm recording. I'm Sam. I am under Rochelle. For anybody who doesn't know me, I'm a 12K leader on the Limitless Tribe, Hustlin' Tribe, whichever. I'm a 12K leader on this team. So I want to do a kind of a quick round of IPAs. I want to get started off by saying that just because it's the 24th of the month does not mean that your month is over. I had a rough month this month. If anybody that doesn't know me on here, recently I earned $12,000 on my account, $4,000 on Jason, $16,000 in bonuses in total while working a full-time job. And it's not always like, I worked hard for that, y'all. That didn't just happen overnight. And I think a lot of people see other people's success and they think, why not me, right? Like, why not me? Why am I not ranking? Why am I not going anywhere? Why am I still stuck, right? And you're constantly looking everywhere else instead of focusing on what you're not doing. And it comes down to, all the hard work that I put in for the past year and a half. What happened? Oh, I don't know what just happened. Sorry about that, y'all. But it comes down to all of the hard work that I just put in for the past year and a half that I still put in every single day. That's what got me those bonuses. So when those bonuses came out, I had already been running for them like they were a thing this whole time. I work my business like a bonus business. I am constantly running after the weekly paychecks, not just a one-time, monthly payout. So I want you guys to know that if you are not where you want to be for this time of the month, that there is so much time left. We still have a full week, technically, 7 days as of today. Anything can happen, y'all. When I was trying to re-rank 4K, I remember there was a point where I barely had, I don't even know, 1,000 in volume or something. There was a long time where I could not maintain 4K, okay? I couldn't even maintain 4K. And everybody left me, my team left me. I came in, rocked it all out, missed my VIPs, hit 4K my first month and lost it for 8, okay? Came back and hit a $20,000 sales team because I never gave up. I never allowed the people that didn't want to run with me allow me to stop running. I decided to take the one person that wanted to run, link arms with them and run. And that was that. You cannot focus on the people that don't want to run their business, the people that don't show up to Zooms, the people that are in your inbox every single day asking what they can be doing, but they're not showing up. You need to be so excited about what you do every single day that it gets you out of bed. My biggest thing joining this industry was making sure that I loved what I did, right? Like there are so many people that I see on Instagram that sell you, Facebook too, that want to sell you something, but they've never taken the product a day in their life. If you guys are not showing the products one way or another and excited about it, it's not enough to just post a picture of your capsules in the morning. It's not. I wish to God it was. I really do. I wish I could tell you guys it was that easy, but it's not. Until I started going live every day, showing my face in my stories, talking about things other than Thrive. Hell yes, I share my Thrive. I share it all day long, my thirst, my active, whatever I'm doing all day. But I also share my life. When my cat does something, when my boyfriend's being annoying and stupid, I don't care. I show that. I don't shy away from that. I don't care if my house is a mess and I'm going live. I don't sit there and make excuses for 10 hours as to why I'm not going to hit that live button. I just did it. It wasn't a matter of, oh, you know, I hear it all. Well, Sam, you're so good at going live. And like you know, but it didn't just happen. I had to fail so many times and look stupid on camera and not know what I was talking about and have nobody be on my lives. It doesn't matter about the likes, the views, who's watching you at that moment. People are always watching you, sis. They don't want you to know. That's just how it is. They don't want you to know that they're watching you. I watched Rochelle for 7 months. Sorry, I'm admitting people. I watched Rochelle for 7 months before I ever even gave her an inkling that I was watching her. So when I tell you that people are always watching, when you think that nobody's watching you, when you want to give up, when you're like, it's too hard, like I'm doing all the things. Are you really doing all the things? Are you waiting until the 24th, the 25th, the 27th to start running your business because you're not where you want to be? Or have you been running like it's the 25th of the month since the 1st of the month? Because that's the difference. You guys can't just pick and choose when you want to show up, when you don't want to show up. Share your products, you know, in the morning and then are MIA all day. Who the heck's relating to that? Anybody can buy Thrive from anybody here. What separates you from me? From Lindsay, from M, from Katie, from whoever? I can promise you that until I started really getting loud and clear about how much I loved what I did in the products and showed them that I take them every single, y'all, for a year straight, you can go on my Facebook and you will see I went live every single day, just making my shake, talking to them, getting comfortable with them, talking about my day, talking about the business sometimes, talking about the products if I'm doing free samples. Do what you need to do to get comfortable, but talk to your audience. They need to know that there's a human behind those capsules that you're sharing on your story every day. And they need to know that you are a human, and they need to know that they have someone to relate to, that you have a community here. If you're not sharing the work with me when you're hopping on them, you're doing your business a disservice. Nobody has what we have our hands on opportunity wise, like tribe wise, whatever you want to call it wise. Nobody has 4 to 5 optional trainings a day, y'all. Like that's not a thing. It's not a thing anywhere. So make sure you're sharing your products. Make sure you're being loud and proud in it with it. Sorry, I can't speak. And make sure every time I admit someone, it X's me out of my screen. That's really weird. And make sure that just because it's the 24th of the month and you're not where you want to be, neither am I. I had a really bad month this month, but that does not mean that I haven't been showing up as good or whatever. I didn't go and blame my team or blame the person underneath me or blame the person beside me. I went and enrolled. You can't blame your sidelines, your downline, your upline, or whoever for your business not being where you want to be. Do more tomorrow than you did today. Stay up an hour later. Do a couple reels, y'all. I worked 2 full-time jobs when I started this, and I still hit that 4K. I lost it for 8 months, sure, but I grew so much in that 8 months that when I came back tenfold. I came back and hit $20,000 in sales in 1 month when I couldn't even maintain 2, working 2 full-time jobs. And some of y'all don't want to show up at all. That's it. Okay, Sam's done. So keep running your business. Do not call it the end of the month today. You guys have 7 days left. I am not where I want to be either, not even close, but I will finish where I want to be because I will not give up. You cannot let everybody beside you, the ranks, everybody re-ranking, everybody hitting new ranks, earning trips, earning this, earning that. You can't let that. I just had somebody, let me be real and raw with you guys today, okay? I enrolled my first ever my first ever 800 pack. Okay. What was it? Maybe at the beginning of the month, right? Earned my Vegas trip. Okay. Earned my Vegas trip. Thank God I doubled in my promoter packs because you needed 800 in promoter packs to get that Vegas trip. I was doubled everywhere. I had my auto ships. I had everything I needed. I worked hard for that tracker, y'all. Rochelle messaged me today and told me I wasn't even staring at my tracker. When I tell y'all I do not stare at my tracker, that's exactly what I mean. There are some months where I don't look at that thing ever. I do not stare at my tracker because a rank, a number doesn't mean shit to me. It's not it's not gonna up my paycheck if I keep staring at it. If I keep refreshing, you're gonna get stuck in your own mind. So I hadn't even been looking at it. This girl that bought my first ever $800 pack returned it. Didn't reach out to me, nothing. I had been reaching out to this girl steadily every single day since she enrolled. Nobody enrolls on an 800 pack and then just ghosts you, right? Like, I'm thinking this girl has got to be sick. Like, something's wrong. She's dead. Like, I don't know what's wrong with her, but I have never enrolled an 800 pack. I enrolled my first one and she freaking returned it 7 days before the end of the month, y'all. That's a whole other grand I need to make up in volume when I was already not close to re-ranking. So when I tell you that you can do anything, you can do anything, because I went and replaced that volume today that she took. And at first, I was like, oh my, like, what am I going to do? Right? I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, who does that? I started getting upset. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I couldn't, right? Panic attack. And then I did what I knew I needed to do, what I do every single day, worked my freaking business. I went live. I went live on my lunch, at dinner, after dinner, before I came on here. I was in my stories all day. I made new opportunity stories. I went and did new reels. I reached out to every single potential I had, all my existing customers, every single person. I ran like my ass was on fire. But if I would have been doing that this whole month, I wouldn't have had to have been doing this for the next 7 days. I let my personal life and things get in the way to the point where I never even looked at my tracker one time this month. I don't think that you should be somebody who stares at it, no, but I should have probably looked at it once or twice before now, because I would have known where I was at, and I didn't. So when I looked today at my tracker, I was like, panic mode, y'all, like panic mode. So please do not give up on yourselves. Keep going. Anything can happen in a day, 2 days, 7 freaking days. My team brought in $4,000 in sales last month in 1 day. When I was nowhere near close, I was like, and we did it. So don't give up on your team. Run with them, run alongside them, run promos for them if that's what you need to do, if you're close, but just keep running. It doesn't matter if you re-rank or not. It matters how you're running out of this month. So make sure that you don't give up on yourself today, please. All right, y'all, let's start on, let's do Instagram first. So I like Instagram better. So let's start on stories. I've been scrolling pretty much to like the middle or the halfway back point, and then just working my way back. And then in another 5-minute interval, I'll do, you know, the medium of the way back to the front so I can get my other people. But let's interact on stories for about 5 minutes. I'm going to set a timer because if not, I get distracted. All right, y'all, timer's going. So if you are new here, I don't know, actually, if you are new here, if you are brand new, if this is your first ever work with me, drop it in the chat just so I know that I need to go through everything a little bit more in depth. I know a lot of faces on here, and I know a lot of you are pretty familiar, but there's a couple people I don't know on here, so I just want to make sure. If not, I'm just going to kind of go through it, and we're going to do a round of IPAs, y'all. I'm not going to tell you guys how to get there when I know how to get there. All right, I think we're good. We're good. Okay. So Instagram stories, let's go ahead and interact on there. I kind of take this time to unfollow. I don't really have a set time where I go and unfollow because I feel like when I do that, I'm sitting there in mass unfollowing or mass, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like to do that. I don't want to get blocked out of my account. So I've been trying to do it as I'm interacting. If I'm just not meshing with that person, if I have nothing to say to them, if I'm just keeping them on there as dead weight, I'm just going to get rid of them. I'm just going to mute myself in case there's volume on here. Anybody who is just hopping on, we are in Instagram stories for about 4-ish minutes. We are interacting on Instagram stories. Got about a minute and a half left on Instagram stories. I had to set timers, y'all. If you've ever been on at work with me, I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna do like 5 minutes, and there we are like 10 minutes later because I get sunk into it. So all right, y'all. That's the timer. So let's go and interact on our Instagram feed for 5 minutes. Make sure that you are, I also like to unfollow here. Make sure you're taking the time to actually say genuine things. I like to say things that are either going to react and make them want to comment back. I don't want them to just heart it. I don't want them to just like it or love it. I want them to respond. So I try to do something genuine or ask a question or whatever it is. So let's take 5 minutes and do that. Set the timer. If you are just getting in, we are interacting on Instagram feed. We have about 1.5 minutes left. Sorry, I got up for a second. If you were in the waiting room, my cat lost her favorite toy and I can't find it anywhere. And she just keeps coming up and crying. And it's the stupidest little thing. It's not even a toy. She shouldn't even have it. We are finishing up on Instagram feed. If you just hopped on, we have about 30 seconds left and then we are going to move on. Something else I've really been doing and implementing is I like to go kind of at this time actually where my stories have been up for about 24 hours. I go all the way back to my stories. I go to like the first story, the last one, so I can, you know, at that point, as many people, it's about to go away, right? It's been up for like 23 hours. I like to go through and interact with every single person that viewed my story in one way or another, except for Thrivers, obviously. But anybody else, I like to really interact with them. So now that the timer's up, I'm gonna set one for 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and interact with the people that have been interacting on our stories or on a recent photo of ours, a reel. If you haven't gotten back to them, let's go through and interact with those people for about 2 minutes before we move on to growing our network. Babe, I'm on a Zoom. Please don't talk to the camera. All right, let's go and grow our network for about 5 minutes on Instagram. I used to struggle at first with this because I wasn't really searching for anything that had anything to do with me. So when you're doing this, go to the people. I like to really go through the people that I interact with daily. I like to go through their friends, the people who like their things on Facebook, Instagram, etc. I like to look at who's liking their stuff. Do I have common things and, or common interests with, you know what I'm trying to say? I like to add there. I like to go to tags. I work in a different town than I live in. So a lot of the times I'll search, Norwich, Vermont, Heartland, Vermont, whatever. And there you're going to see other people in those towns. If there's a certain restaurant or store or maybe there's a certain, trail that you like to go on, whatever it is, maybe there's a dog park that you like to go to, whatever it is, make sure that you are searching, using your fives, using things that really relate to you to find your people. You don't want to just go through and mass add a bunch of people that have nothing in common with you. So on Instagram, I really like to either go through my explore page and not add people with like 9 million followers, but that people that have like things in common with me. I found a lot of people through reels recently. So let's go ahead and whichever way works for your business, let's go ahead and grow your network for the next 5 minutes. We have about a minute and a half left. And then before we hop off Instagram, snag a picture of this work with me and make sure that you're sharing the community. I always like to just kill two birds in one stone, post it on my Instagram while I'm over there, flip it onto Facebook while I'm over there, while I'm switching over. I do not link my accounts. If you are somebody who links your accounts, I don't know if any of you do, but please don't. It really screws up your algorithm. It takes 2 seconds to just save whatever you're posting on Instagram. I do everything on Instagram first. It's easier. Save it, put it on Facebook after. Way easier. All right, I'm just going to post this picture real quick and then we'll move on. We have about 1 minute left on the timer. Was I just muted that whole time? Did I just talk to myself? Oh my God. Okay. We are going to Facebook now. I am setting the timer. We are going to interact on Facebook stories for 5 minutes. Yeah, I was like, what are these people doing? They're on. I was like, am I like? My boyfriend came in and talked to me, distracted me. I thought I had muted myself. And then I looked, I'm like, went to go mute myself and I was, no. Okay. So Facebook stories, you can either get there, oh my God, by going to the people, like if you go into your Facebook Messenger, at the bottom there, there's going to be a little chat and then there's going to be a people's box. If you click on the people part or whatever, it's like a little bubble at the bottom. You can literally just kind of hop in and out of stories there, mute your Thrivers right there. There's going to be like 3 dots at the top right there. You can click that and then you can mute Thrivers there instead of going through every single one individually like you do when you're scrolling. You can kind of hop in and out of them. So whichever works for your business. If you need to work the front of your stories right now, if you need to work the back, the middle, do whichever you need to do for the next about 4.5 minutes. We have about 2 minutes left, y'all. Still over here laughing at myself. It's all right, y'all. There's the timer for that. Let's go and interact on our Facebook feed. Make sure you already posted the picture of the community. Get it over with. I always just post it as soon as I hop over. It's easier. And then I get interacting so that people, when they go and see our stories, they see that even people working double shifts, working all day, they can come home, have a training. They don't need to be on them. They're recorded. Like, people need to know that they have other people, that they don't come into this alone. I'm just gonna mute myself now. Yep, look at that. I did that right. Got about 2 minutes left. I'm tired tonight, y'all. Clearly, I'm talking to myself. All right, y'all, let's move on. Let's grow our network and then we're gonna hop off. So as you're done, we're just gonna hop off. I'll give it about 5 minutes. At about 8:50, we'll hop off. Go ahead and grow your network. If you're already in groups, go in and add from there, interact in those groups. Make sure you're not just going in there and mass adding. Make sure you're interacting in there. You're finding your people in there. For a long time, I was just kind of going in and mass adding everywhere, and it was doing me no good because I have to unfollow them 10 days later because I don't like them. So don't waste your time and do that. Go and genuinely interact with these people. And go find your people. I'm a cat mom, I'm in a bunch of cat mom groups. I'm in a bunch of thrift shopping groups, Hobby Lobby groups, TJ Maxx groups, like you name it. If there's a store that you go to all the time, people like the same things you do. If it's something weird, a hobby you have, you like to go hiking, biking. I take my cat in a stroller all the time. Like whatever it is that you do that makes you happy, go and find those people. Go and find those groups, and the things that you think are the silliest or that there's no groups for, I promise you there's probably 50,000 out there. I try to stay in groups that only have about, no more than like 5,000 followers in there, because after that you're just competing against 9 million people. So I like to go in groups that are close to me, close to my fives. And I also like to go, and if there's people that I'm genuinely interacting with on Facebook, there's other babes that I like, I want to go and see who's liking their stuff, who they're interacting with, who's commenting on their stuff, who they're, you know what I'm saying, who's liking their pictures, who's commenting, because they're active and interacting on social media. They're there to interact. So that's what I like to do. I've been finding a lot of luck with that, but my groups is really, really where I used to roll my eyes and I used to hate them, and I hated having to go into them. And I promise you that once you find groups that you actually like to go and interact in, maybe it's cooking that you like to do, maybe it's certain flowers, maybe you like to garden, maybe there's a certain decor that you like to do, whatever it is, I promise you there's 900 groups out there waiting for someone like you to go in there. I don't go in there and spam myself, but I did hear Hasty say something the other day on a work with me that I want to share. Go in, and when you're in there, introduce yourself. These people are going to go to your page anyway, but introduce yourself. Just say, hey, I'm Sam, I'm a cat mom, me and my cat live in New Hampshire, whatever. Just say a little bit about yourself. Say, you want to meet other people just like them, you're in this group to do exactly, whatever it is. It's going to be different depending on your group, so I can't really say what to say, but go in and introduce yourself. Have people get eyes on you. Go in and interact in those groups. Post pictures of you and your dog, you and your cat, you hiking, you biking, you cooking, you whatever. You post recipes in there too. Don't just go on there and find mass adding people. You go and interact in those groups too. So whatever you need to do for your business for the next 2 or 3 minutes, since I've been talking, since you guys have been doing this, go in, either interact in groups, add groups. If you're in a bunch of groups that aren't active, go in and delete them. If they're showing on your timeline, hide them. Go in and interact in groups for a good 5-minute interval a couple times a day, but you don't want them going through your feed, because when you're trying to interact intentionally, when you're doing your interactions, you're going to see nothing but groups. So clean that up also while you're interacting. So do about 1 or 2 minutes, and then y'all can hop off whenever you're ready. And if y'all are still on here, I'll just end it in like 2 or 3 minutes. And I will be hosting the Wednesday ones next month. This is our last Tuesday together. Thanks for hopping on, y'all. I love y'all. I really appreciate you guys that have been hopping on. It means a lot to me. I was wicked nervous to do this, and this was my 2nd month. So next month will be my 3rd month. And I'm doing them Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. I'll be doing the Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. That's what I picked, I believe. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm doing. And if you haven't done one, y'all, go ahead and get out of your comfort zone and do it, because nobody's on here to judge you. Nobody's on here. They're all on here to do the same exact thing you're doing, just to have accountability for it, to have people beside you doing it. I like to go on, and not because I don't know what I'm doing, but to have somebody else with a timer, or to hold me accountable, or to, hear different tips and tricks from other leaders. It's not only 200 Ks hopping on here. And that's the best part about this, is there are people from all different ranks, walks of life, 4K, 12K, 10K, 9K, no K, whatever, hopping on here and pouring into you guys. They're taking the time out of their day to pour into y'all. So thank you for hopping on. I love y'all. Go end your month like you want to start a month. The month is nowhere near over. Have your little pity party if you're not where you want to be, and move the fuck on. I love y'all enough to say that. Go run your damn business. Don't call it quits. Night, y'all.